one viewer is better than zero, so I'll give it some more time, and then I'll go over some TA and record it anyway. I hope everyone is good. XRP. Delete. Well, I'm going to start and just fly through XRP real quick, and then I'll explain a bit as I'm walking along. We're first thing is always just mark out the higher 10 time frame levels. Hello, Georgette, is it? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I like XRP, especially at lower prices. Get these higher turn time frame levels marked, and then we'll work on some order block magic. If at any point I slur, I do apologise. I have MS, which really destroys my speech sometimes, so I do apologise in advance. Always. That might actually help, you know. I did post on my Discord. Just give me 1 minute and I'll do that. See, I'm a YouTube noob. I'm not used to this. Done. Alright, now let's the first live stream, you have to forgive me. I'm such a noob when it comes to oh, thank you, I appreciate that. So yeah, the first key thing, always high term time frame levels. These are just confluence for me, really. I trade more off order blocks and pivots. With alts especially, I just find as much confluence, but I will explain. With Bitcoin it's completely different. I care more about volume levels as well as order blocks and pivots, but and one thing, I was speaking to somebody via DM in my Discord earlier, and they were saying about the object trees. You have to keep your object tree arranged. It makes it so much easier. I don't know how people cope with an absolutely messed up object tree, but for me, I have to keep it nice and clean. On alts, the main pivots I'm looking for are they knew. They've known for days. I told them. I told the Discord. 2 PM UTC. We got 4 people. That's more than I even expected anyway, so I'm absolutely buzzing with that. But yeah, the pivots I really watch out for on alts, because I'm a higher term time frame trader, is the 1 month or even the 3 month. Like, you can see the respect these 1 month pivots get, and right, hide them. Next thing, I need to mark out the key order blocks, because I have a feeling we may go lower, so it's worthwhile being aware of where they are. We'll have that one. You can see that daily order block. Look how perfectly it stopped that drop. Like, yeah, it's just crazy. No problem, David. Thank you for joining, mate. It's appreciated anyway. But yeah, as you can see, look at these order blocks. They're just crazy. That drop stopped dead in that daily. That's why it's key. Look for confluence at the levels. I do like the S5. This zone on XRP. But that is another 31. That's not bad actually. That could be what, a wave. Obviously a lot of it is depending on Bitcoin, but for me, I still favour lower prices on Bitcoin. But anyway, we'll come to that later. I'll get finished marking out these order blocks. Again, keep the object tree nice and neat. Daily OB. I don't like that. I don't know why. We've come so close to it already. So yeah, I don't like this upper one. Not saying we won't reject there, but I do prefer this zone. This would be a much, if XRP was to get a rally, that would be more obvious. But we do get new monthly pivots on Tuesday, so these, after Tuesday, these pivots are irrelevant. It's tagged anyway, the actual pivot point. So for me, we'll have to see what happens on Tuesday, see where the new pivots spawn, see what confluence we've got at them levels. But once we've got the higher term time frame levels already marked out, then we're prepared for that. That's really, we'll check 4 hour. I like the 4 hour order blocks. Really? Yeah. The 4 hour order blocks are my main. Yeah, they're the main thing I look for really, and then you find confluence around them. Yeah, that's all good. 4 hour OB. Right. If the new monthly pivots spawn, and we do get some support levels within this order block, then Philip, thank you for joining, mate. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not too bad. Tired as always, but I'm trying. But yeah, these 4 hour order blocks are massive. So when Tuesday comes and we get some new monthly pivots, I'll be interested to see which of the support levels align with these order blocks below. You can see we've got a daily and a 4 hour there. This level's so big. It's doesn't mean it can't just be blasted through, but I think we've got maybe. Let's see. I don't know. Like I say, it's hard to find. It's hard for me to pick levels when the pivot points are so close to refreshing. But I just like to have the order blocks, the higher term time frame levels, have them all marked out. I am using the Binance chart, but I'm trading on Bybit purely because of the history on it. Like the Bybit history, it was fine whilst we were in an uptrend, but as soon as we lost that uptrend on the Bybit chart, we quickly lost the lows on most coins, and we are at all-time lows on most of the Bybit chart. So it's really pointless, using it for lower TA when we've got no price history down there. So just use Binance myself. What I would normally do is, if we were coming down, say next week, we get the pivots, we've got S2, the monthly S2 sat in here. Let me just check the okay, 3 monthly pivots. I don't like them so much. Okay, I like that. These are the 6 month pivots. As you can see, the pivot point is still untapped, finding support on the 6 month S1. Now that for me is confluence. No financial advice, of course. I won't tell anybody what to do with their money, but for me, I'll at least take a paper trade down there. I'll set an alert, monitor price action. If we can get the new monthly pivots and get say an S1 in there, a monthly S1 or a monthly S2 within this, that's a daily order block in it. Within this daily order block, then I really do. What would that be? We're talking, obviously, and then the way I would trade it, if I was going to trade it, I have my fibs, mark the order block, OB entry fibs, reverse, 320, and then that would be my entries. Obviously, we have support below that as well. I'm not going to put up an actual trade because I don't want to get in trouble, but you can see the confluence down there. If we I wouldn't trade it right now. I would like to get another monthly like S1 spawn in there on Tuesday, but I'm not expecting a drop down there before Tuesday. Maybe Monday, I don't know. Monday would need, I don't think we'd get that low by he says. I'll end up looking foolish when we're sat there by tomorrow morning. But yeah, this is literally the only confluence I'm looking for with altcoins. I do pull fibs. I don't see the point in really pulling any from this. There's nothing relevant I'm gonna see. We're gonna have some 886s maybe. Like, it's just waste of. Yeah, we're gonna have like an 886, aren't we? Which I wouldn't trade off an 886, but oh, that's because I've got it on reverse, isn't it? Nice. But yeah, we've got an 886 down there. I don't like, for me, once we've lost the 786, I don't really. Where would the 786? Yeah, that's too high. Oh yeah, we've already bounced on the 786. So again, it's not the be all and end all. I'm not a massive fib fan. Not with alts anyway. I don't really see much. Yeah, I have success trading pivots and order blocks and higher term time frame levels. So for me, we do have like in here, I suppose. I didn't mark it because that's stupid. There is some support in there. It's like That would be the only level that I'd be interested in. A scalp off the 4-hour order block. These are always worth a scalp, but again, very little confluence in it, which is obviously important. But if we drop down onto a weekly, okay, so that is right. There is confluence there, like a weekly S3. But again, these pivots are due to refresh tonight anyway. So for me, it's important to see where we get the new weeklies, where we get the new monthlies. The 3 months aren't going to change, so they're all good. But you can even see on these weeklies that straight down, week opens, we test S1, retest these lows, bounce. Where do we bounce? Straight up, take the highs into the weekly pivot. It's just, yeah, the respect is real nice. But yeah, for me, like, this is like the major level I'm looking at on XRP, because once we start losing this monthly in this order block, it's not good. Like, that drop will be, I should imagine we would slice through that, because we went up quick. We'd probably, once we lose this, I could imagine us, we could come all the way down, but that's for another day. Once Bitcoin confirms the expanded flat, that would be so nice. Wrecked city for everyone except those expecting it. But yeah, that for me that's the type of zones I'm looking for when I'm marking out. This is obviously for altcoins only. Bitcoin I do trade completely differently. Well, not completely. Obviously, I still use the same tools, but I had a lot more volume. Obviously, I monitor price action as we approach the level. I'll watch the live order flow. Don't bother with order flow on alts. Really, I literally just sculpt order blocks and pivots. And as you can see on this daily, a lot of the time, they're all you need. The bounce on that order block is that's a 70% bounce from a daily order block. That's where my spot buy was. I like it. But yeah, I was asked to have a look over DOT in the video I did, but I ran out of time. This is what I wanted to show. Engine coin, the power of higher term time frame levels and order blocks. So as you can see, the perfection of that, you cannot get more perfect. It was to the cent. We hit the 4-hour order block. When I mark out the order blocks, this indicator will literally only mark out what is the order block, but for me, as this shows, I like to mark out the whole order block candle, and it stops me getting front run. And that would have been, I didn't actually trade this, I chose to trade S and X instead, but that's just, we've got another obviously 4-hour order block below. So if we do come back down and lose that level, for me, the first level I will be looking at is this. Wow. Here's me saying about keeping your object tree nice, and there's mine a mess. Right, so I don't know what you guys think, but for me this is the simplest way to trade alts. the risk to reward on these order blocks and HTF levels is just craziness. Did we get, was there any, I'm pretty sure, no, not that. Yeah, we see we had the 6-month S1 down there. We've also got, is this the one that's not tapped its yearly? No, this one has. But yeah, that like is just a perfect trade for me. It doesn't get any easier to do. There's no point with the altcoins. I really don't see any point in even watching. Well, you can do, but I prefer to just preset. These levels seem to work quite well. Like order blocks, higher term time frame pivots, of course GG pivots, but where was dot? Here it is. Okay, I'll delete everything. Binance, yep. Let's have a look where we are. This coin, wow, it's mad. I've got such a bad chest today. It's not good at all. I'm trying my best for you. How is everybody today anyway? I don't like this chart. See, we've got that. I like that. I know this TA is so basic, but as you can see, it does actually work. Like, genuinely does work. See that? Look at that. That's what I like. This is what I'm looking for. You can see straight away. We get the higher term time frame levels, and straight away drop onto the daily, and we've got a daily order block there with a weekly sat in it. So for me, that is resistance 1. Hello, Jordan, mate. I will. Yeah, I'll have a look. See that is just, yeah, that catches my attention straight away. As soon as I see levels like that. Right, there isn't much below it, is there? Wow. Okay. That's not a lot. I didn't actually realise dot was so low. I don't normally trade dot, but wow. Okay. Oh, is that like really? That's, I don't like that at all. Like, I don't know why. I couldn't even tell you why. I just look at it and think it looks horrible. That looks, yeah, that looks better. Maybe. But the problem is, if dot drops down there, it's likely Bitcoin is going to be pulling back as well. So again, you all know this anyway. You'd have to be monitoring Bitcoin at the time and see what Bitcoin's doing, because if that's falling like a rock, I would not be putting buy orders anywhere on these alts. Hello, Johnny, mate. You good, yeah? No, thank you for joining. Seriously, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. I will get better at this. I'm absolutely terrified, nervous, but oh well, let's do this. Yeah, the problem I've got is, like I say, when I'm expecting, I expect quite a bit lower on Bitcoin. Should I just, right, do you know what? Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Wow. There is method behind my madness. Right. Nice. So this is, that trend line is literally not something I would trade off of. It's literally thank you. It's literally just a rough trend line following the bottom and following the trend, each of the lows. And I was saying in the group yesterday, it'd be key to kind of hold this. Like, it would show a change in trend locally, but also I said yesterday, we've left so many NPCs below us. Like, we've got that was yesterday's, which we cleared. Naked initial balance from yesterday, giving a nice little sculpt. Yeah, that hit my take profit one, that did. Right, I need to get rid of that NRB. Thank you, Jordan. So yeah, this is really, as you can see, this is yesterday's MPOC. That is now clear. We have, this is the 28ths. We've got the 27ths and the 24ths. That's quite a lot of them. I'd like to see them clean, to be honest. I don't really fit. Without coming down here, I wouldn't like to attempt 40k without coming and cleaning some of this mess up. Yeah, it just seems a lot to be left behind, and I was quite bullish when we put the low in. If we go on the daily, like, I'd been saying that this is the perfect zone to bounce on a running flat, and as you can see, we take off, we put in the low, we get the increase of bearish volume, which could be an indication that we're coming to the low of a wave 5, which would have been the running flat completion, and then you'd expect an impulsive move off of the level, and we did get that initially. We got some decent volume coming off of the level to defend, but like, the follow through has been, I don't know, it might be because it's the weekend as well, but it's been weak at best. Like, so for me, if I was, because the way I see this and have done for a while is, we're in A, B, C. I'd say 3 was up here. We put in a 3 higher term time frame. We're now correcting a running flat. We do still have last year's naked pivot, yearly pivots. The GG down at 24,000 region, and then you've obviously got the Woody and Fib. I believe the channel goes down to like 21,000 something, which would also be, yeah, I think it's the 1.618 expansion of this whole correction, which again would match an expanded flat. It's my problem with this being the bottom, and I've said this a few times now, is breaking this into a 5-wave structure. Because if it's a running flat, it's a 335, and this looks a mess. You break this into a 5-wave structure, and you've got to go like 1, 2, a nasty 3, which the subwaves just don't work. 4, and then this 5, which the 5 isn't so bad. But to me, it works better as a 1, 2, 3, 4, back up to test 40k, and then we come down for the 5. Between 21 and 24k, like a rough guess. And like this might not even be the bottom. It just doesn't feel like this move is an impulsive move off the low, which like you would genuinely, that is what you would expect. So sorry, I have to keep pausing, muting my mic whilst I cough. I don't want everyone to think I've got COVID. I haven't. I've tested negative. But yeah, like back to what I was saying, I just don't feel that this is. Yeah, it doesn't feel like an impulsive move off of the low. It doesn't look like a 5-wave structure. So yeah, that's the main reason why I'm looking at lower prices. Obviously, I am in a couple of longs, so if we bounce, I'm happy. But we've got the, where is it? Let me have a look. Where is it? I'm gonna have to come off of this chart because I can't really use this one for this. Okay, right. This is where I was playing yesterday. So what I'll do is I'll hide everything and I'll show you what I was looking at. So the trend based, my calculation is, this is what I was working off of. This is the ABC. So A rather, B, and then this is C, which would be the 618 fib time to the day. That's why I was quite excited when we put that low in and we got the impulsive move off of it on the fib time, and I was like, I like this. It's a nice zone for like to bounce. We front run the lows, which yeah, I can imagine people were getting bearish. I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel like we're done yet. Could be totally wrong, of course. Wouldn't be the first time, but yeah, I just don't. I think they expanded and coming down until this zone and come down till March. That would be a much better retracement for me. You could get a nice wave breakdown. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'd come down for the 5th. We'd have an opportunity to get into shorts. It would make sense because we'd have a retest of all of these lows, this low, test it as resistance, and come down and put a new low in. But it could be the low. Like I say, it's the 618 fib time. So for me, that was, yeah, it was impressive to bounce on that day, but it doesn't really mean much when you don't get any follow through. And like this is just, I wouldn't normally expect this coming off a low if we had bottomed, but I do still like the possibility of maybe revisiting the lows and finding support. What would you get here? 5, 3. Yeah, I don't like. It would need to. I don't like it. I do really. No, I don't like this as a low. Doesn't mean it isn't, but I think it's worth exploring options if we do drop. Especially with altcoins, that's where the opportunities are mainly. They're so easy to trade as well. You just got to be careful that they don't slice through support. That's why I always say, identify the levels, set your alerts, and just chill. Let the market come to you. When it hits the level, you have a decision to make. Do you know what I mean? You can switch over to Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin's doing. If Bitcoin's coming into support, check the order flow on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin looks like it's finding support and it's going to make it, and we're going to move away from the level, then obviously you can consider entering the longs at the key levels. But I just recommend be very, very careful, because as I've pointed out, there's no guarantees that it happens. This could be the low, and everyone, like, in a couple of weeks time we could be laughing and we're back up at like 50k, 52k. But if we do drop, just be careful. As we've shown, we can literally just cut through support like it's not there. But on the intraday with Bitcoin, like, as I pointed out, for me, I'm monitoring. I don't really trade weekends anyway, so for me, like, even on the lower term time frame, you can see the respect. What are our pivot points? My indicator is in the Discord, mate. It's not really available for public at the minute. Like that, I was tempted to take a long scalp off of this if we came down to the level and the order flow was right, of course, but I don't know, it's Sunday. I hate trading weekends. I'd rather spend my weekend identifying levels and be ready and waiting for Monday, because yeah, there's too much uncertainty on weekends for me. We've got this order block was tapped on every other exchange apart from Bybit USDT pair. So if we do come down to this level, this isn't a level I will be looking at. Purely, yeah, unless we've got the daily MPOC, but yeah, I just don't like the way it was hit on all exchanges, but this one kind of makes me think if we come back to it, it might just slice through, because it tends to happen. But these levels, this is another level. We've got our, let me just check actually what day is it, because I've got 5-day pivot points as well, which are on a 5-day cycle, and they come to an end. Oh wow, so when we get the new monthlies, we also get the new 5 days. The main issue with pivots for me is when you have a big drop or a big move, it can throw the pivots off. So you tend to find, like, if you have an impulsive move one day, the next day, not so much the pivot point itself, but more the SR levels. Hello Jeff, mate, how are you? Like the SR levels, when we've had an impulsive trending day, then the SR levels tend to be a bit wide and it sort of throws them out a bit. And yeah, as you can see, the previous 5 days we had quite a move down, so these have been, the SR levels themselves are quite wide, too wide. On the weekly, again, the pivot we were showing in the group this day, we had some nice confluence at that level, and when we rejected it perfectly on the retest, gave us the W pattern, which I hate. But we get new weeklies tonight. On the 1st, obviously, we get new monthlies, we get new 5 days, we get new dailies every day, of course. Like, for me, the only intraday pivots I use are these and the 12 hour. The 12 hour you can only get on this indicator, but they just help me sort of intraday. Like, I get a sense of where price is going. Like, if we spawn below the pivot, and if the pivot spawns above us, like on the 12 hour, Like this one, it spawned below us, but instantly we dropped straight through it. If I come down onto, you can see pivot spawns below, we drop straight through into the 5-minute order block, bounce and retest, reject down to S1, and now we're making our way down. So this is a very basic way of showing it. I do plan on doing a video in maybe this week, a full breakdown of like how I trade them, but like this is a basic way. Once we lose the pivot, that to me is, I'm either looking for it to be reclaimed, in which case then yeah, I'd be looking up towards the R1, R2. But the second we lose it and can't reclaim it, that's a scalp short. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate all you guys tuning in. It means a lot. If you lose it, 37k NSPOC. Oh, the one okay, yeah, the one on the CC, yeah, and we've got, okay, yeah. Yeah, see, we're in the golden pocket as well, so, and it is also, it could be like a final kiss on the 5-day pivot point, final retest before bouncing. My only issue is, like, I'm not saying we won't bounce there for a scalp. That could be, like, you can scalp anywhere there, but I wouldn't expect the level to like hold as support, not for like a big bounce, because like I say, my big issue is once we lose this trend line, we can start moving downwards. I want these cleared up, I want that cleared up, I want the time point of control tested, and I want that. That is the level that I'm waiting for. See, that's the only level I'm really interested in. When I say that, I mean for a more of a long-term trade. Like, I'll be looking in for the higher low to be put in, and this is obviously something I can hold, but bounce now or it's time. That was a pretty impressive, I must say that. Shame it didn't hit my green box. That would have been, I had so many limit orders sat waiting down here. Feels bad, man. But yeah, I don't know, I just like the idea of taking out all these MPOCs. I don't like leaving them behind. I know we do leave them behind, but yeah, we have done a good job though of, like, any time we've had single prints, we've done a good job of clearing them up. So yeah, see, I'm not a massive like trend line trader, but like when you've got such an obvious like you've got such an obvious trend line, it's worth just being aware of it. Like, I wouldn't trade off of the trend line because yeah, I'm just not a trend line trader, but it's worth like just at least, like, because if we bounce here, then yeah, that's nice, but if we lose it, then it just, I think it could be like a bit of an early sign of like a change of local trend. I did want to sweep this high, to be, if I'm being honest, because we've got, I did run this level tested, the naked initial balance, but it would make more if we come down here and bounce off this zone. I think Yoda said it as well. That would be, we could get some good fuel off of there. We could move off of that level well. We've got some nice support down there. It's really the last support before we're putting in new lows, so you can imagine it's going to be defended by somebody, or we could slice through, but it's not something I would preset anyway. I don't tend to preset. I'd rather market in and limit out, unless it's a naked initial balance, which, yeah, I will limit on them, purely because the bounce rate on them is quite nice. What are these? These are the 12-hour. So, like, when the daily spawn, for me, the first thing I look at, like, so when they spawned, we're sat above them. We start moving up, tiny little move, which is just instantly given back, and we come to near on back test with tiny little bounce, and then look, it's just lost. So today has been just a pure sideways day, so the pivots have literally been no use whatsoever. But for like trying to work out where we could be going, obviously if you want upside, you need to be reclaiming these pivots and holding as support. But you can see we impulse, we get above the pivot, we even like back test, little bouncing on it, lose it, break it, and then it's just weakness. That's how I'm mainly trading off them. Like, obviously I use them for, with altcoins I use them for levels, and like I look for confluence with order blocks, but mainly it's to help identify like strength and weakness in like Bitcoin on a daily basis. And that's why when the 12-hour spawn, I'm keen to see where they spawn in relation to price, and whether we make the attempt to reclaim and hold as support, because then obviously it could be a sign that we're moving up, and then I can start looking above for like short positions. But and it's the same with the weekly. Right, the first thing, actually I'll show you the monthly, because I think the monthly is a better example. Yeah, this is a perfect example. Weakness. We open down here, open at 46,182. That is where we open the month. So we spend the first day trying to get back above. We've got a 4-hour order block sat here. We can't break the order block, we can't break the pivot, and yeah, we just downtrend from there. So for me, it helps with my higher term bias. If we're in a higher term time frame downtrend and you get this, for me, that's a sign that we're going down further. Yeah, it could do, mate. Jesus, I really did shit the bed, didn't it? Wow. Break the order block, back test, down again. Wow. Right, even on these, pivots are still valid. Absolutely destroyed. S5. Wow. What's the yearly? Yeah, I assume that's... Ooh, you're gonna... I shouldn't really be posting this, saying to short the S&P. That's a bit silly of me. But yeah, there was a reason why. Why did I think that was a good short? I'm not sure, but anyway, they're not. I'm assuming that's the 4453. Yeah, I like. Sorry for your eyes, but as you can see, like with the only levels I'm really interested in are volume levels, like previous day, previous week, previous month. I'm interested in every single pivot point. NSPOCs, Legend Eagle sessions, they're key. Daily MPOCs, higher term time frame levels, order blocks. That's really literally all I'm looking for. Obviously I do have fib pools, and I look for like the golden pocket and whatever, but mainly it is like trading off of volume levels. Yeah, that's really order blocks. That's the main way I trade. Obviously I monitor order flow as we're approaching the levels. That's the beauty of, like, I use XO desktop. I absolutely love it. It's the greatest. Unfortunately ATAS just doesn't seem to work on my PC, which is a shame because I love how clean it is. It's such a clean, yeah, I do like it a lot, but it just, I don't know, the price data's always delayed. Everything runs slowly on it. It freezes all the time. Yeah, I run XO desktop and it runs like an absolute beast. Never have an issue, which, yeah, it's not ideal, of course, but oh well. Like, that trend line seems to be giving a little bit of the fib ratios. These are just GAN. Yeah, so instead of like the 618, I like the 60. Yeah, like I say, I'm a bit weird, but this, like I say, it could be a potential sculpt down here. I don't like, obviously, this order block, the way it's marked. I don't like. Where did we open? Oh, we could actually lose that and tap. We could get a CCV play out. Shout out to Dan the Legend. Taught me 75% of what I know. The other 25%, Yoda and VO, you absolute legends. But yeah, I'm going to go over some more alts. I do plan on doing an extended that shows that NSIB extended across the screen. Yes, I do, my friend. Yeah, I do, mate. You can do that on if you've got any exo charts template with if you've got any exo charts template and you go into the set and it's the sessions one and you've got the settings, you can go into the settings, and there should be when you go to initial balance tab, there should be a section that says extend naked initial balance or something along them lines. If you tick that, then they'll extend across your screen. Like the NSIBs, and even like I like the daily naked initial balances. I've started to record quite a bit of data on IBs because when we do leave them naked, they do tend to give reactions quite a lot. So if Jordan, if you've got me on Discord, DM me and I'll send you my templates if you need them. But yeah, I think right for Bitcoin, I want lower, so I can't be any. Yeah, I can't really say much more than that. I think 40k. From an Elliott wave perspective, 42k is probably the level to break. That would likely, 42k, break that, and I'd start to think maybe that was the bottom. From a little bit more local perspective, I think this is the key level now for the bulls to reclaim. Like, this is massive. We've got 2 days worth of initial balances. and these 2 days were the days that initiated the drop down from this range, so I don't expect to just walk straight back through them. We've got some single prints, which is unfinished business, so for me I think we will go back at some point. No worries, mate. But yeah, so for me 40k would be the first level to reclaim for the bulls. That'd be a big level to reclaim. That would show some intent if we can start reclaiming 40k, like getting into this order block. And if we start breaking through, then obviously we would have to reassess things. But like this low 39.6, yeah, that's the one. That's the first level that I think is massively important to reclaim as support. Purely because it's the lower of this previous range, so it's range low of there. So if we can get back above that, that would show a little bit of intent. Yeah, obviously break that, then I'm looking for this week. We've got a weekly MPOC and we've got a daily MPOC at like 42k. That's the next level. If we can reclaim that, my yearly PPs. Well, yeah, my yearly PP's tagged. My naked one from last year is. Just give me 1 minute, mate, and I will. I posted it again last night. We've got a naked. Come on, I need to scroll all the way back. Right, where are you? There you are. We have the last year's naked GG pivot point is 24,392.5, and the naked Fibonacci pivot is 21,373. So that's actually a really nice target zone below. Right, I've been calling for a long time for us to, like, even when we were at all-time high, I'm sure most people that know me will say that whilst we were up here I was a weirdo and still calling for the naked yearly pivot to be tagged down here. So seems we may well get it, but this is this year's pivot. This is another example of how to use them, same as the monthly. So we had the monthly pivot here and we also had the yearly pivot. If you look at this again, we got above it on the yearly open, traded above it, lost it, messed around, we even lost it, then back tested, lost it, back tested the 4-hour order block and gone. So the minute you see sign of weakness like that at a yearly pivot when it's just spawned, and we're 4 days into the year and all we've done is grind along the pivot and then lose it, I shorted that. Yeah, that was my short signal, especially not this, it was the retest. Yeah, that was my short signal, and obviously target was yearly S1, which we've now bounced off of. We have yearly S2 on daily falls. Yep. Right. It doesn't look good when you look at it like this, really, but maybe S2 to S3 as a low, and then start to reclaim some of these levels. Right. From an Elliott wave perspective, on the higher turn time frame, if we put in an expanded flat or even a running, or even here as a running flat, which again I don't like, you would, if this was the 3 and this is the 4, or the 4's down here, the 5 would surely have to be coming at least, I don't know, R4. I don't know. I don't like to predict that far in the future anyway. I don't. What price it gets to is irrelevant. But yeah, like these levels should be tested at some point. But like I say, I would prefer to see the lower ones tested. I want that yearly pivot cleared up. It had 100% hit rate until last year. So yes, mate, let's dump it. Just sink it. Right, let's have Doge back at like half a penny. That would be SHIB back at 0. Go back to where you came from. I hate that coin. There was another coin I was gonna do. Anyone wants to suggest a buy Bitcoin? We'll have a look at it. Same story with ETH. Yearly pivot spawns. We're above it. You'd think, yay, bullish, let's go and test R1. No, let's go and test the yearly pivot point and lose it. And back test as resistance and lose it. We still haven't hit S1. I did a crazy call a while back saying $1,500, 1,500 ETH and got laughed at. So let's hope we get it, eh? That would be fun. But yeah, we'll have a quick blast through Ethereum. And if anyone wants to suggest a coin, I'll do it next. Has to be Bybit though, please. Yeah, this will be alright. Wow. That died, didn't it? I don't normally trade Ethereum, to be honest, at all. But that just died. A bit like everything. Theta. That's my baby. That's gonna bounce. I can't wait till it's back at all-time high. Don't like that one. See this one. Okay, I'll do near next for you. Yeah, I like this weekly. It was resistance. Could potentially give support. Like you with the order block. Atom. Alright, mate. I love Atom. I literally bought Atom all the way from 29 to 23. And then woke up one morning and it had absolutely pumped. So that was nice. But Ethereum, like I say, I don't really trade these. Ooh. See how quick this is. So my only worry, that's been tapped in at 3271.25, 3272. Okay, we'll go with the indicator. Daily OBs. Daily OBs. Catch the front run. Daily OB. And this is when I will start trading Ethereum again. When we hit this order block. And that's longs, I mean, obviously. not going to look lower than that. I think that would be a bit. But I will see. I like this. I really do actually. Yeah, that level's big. That's a big level to hold. We've also got a 4 hour. If you always put 320 in that, it takes you to the current day. As you can see, there you go. Takes you to, yeah. Full of tips and tricks. Right, now once we've got these are the only levels. See, we've got 4 hour order blocks inside the daily, which I like. 4 hour inside the daily. We've also, I'll mark this last one. I don't like that one so much. This one though, I do like. It's like, yeah, the final resistance with okay, they're the levels I'm interested in. That's really it. And we had our pivots. S1, don't like. Do like. I like this whole zone, but you'd have to imagine if Ethereum gets back up here, surely we go to a new all-time high. It'd be a bit silly to short with anything other than a sculpt, maybe. Right. I like that. Right, no financial advice, of course, but for me, like, I'm not saying to buy here. Don't just buy here. I'm just saying, like, this would be something I would monitor. If we were to lose the lows again, and I'd look back to at least here. I don't like it. Like I say, you'd monitor price action anyway as it comes down. You'd want to see other assets fight. Now that I do like. Right, come to me. Yep. Okay, so that is something I do like. It's a big, but you wouldn't just. Just 1 minute, let me have a look. See, the count on this isn't so nice. Obviously, if I was taking this, I'd be looking to run it back up to these levels, but obviously you'd want to take profit 2%. Right. I'm not saying I'm going to trade this level. The plan for me is to, as you can see, we've got S5 weekly, daily order block daily, 4 hour order block could give a scope. So they're just levels to be aware of, really. I've said for a while 1500 ETH is the zone I really want, but it would be interesting to see where the new monthly pivots spawn on it, purely because they're what will be the deciding factor for me personally, because obviously these are 3 months, so these are valid until March. The pivot point is tagged. We're at S4. There's no reason if the other assets drop, Bitcoin, whatever, then there's no reason we can't come down at least to here. I'd like that level. Obviously I'd want to monitor and see strength. I will not be catching any knives, not a chance, not when there's a possibility of I still do like 1500 as a spot buy. But yeah, obviously this is important for the alts as well, but that's big resistance. If I was long on that, that'd be a monster trade. Thank you, Caramel. What are we looking at? That's another 30% down. So what are we talking then on B? We'd need, yeah, we could do that. Obviously for me, I will not be laddering like at all. I'll be monitoring, and if I like what I see, then it could obviously be a decent location to buy. That's how I'd normally trade the order blocks. Just literally, but again, it's such a risk. Look, you've got very little invalidation, so I'd prefer to, if I was going to trade this, wait for the bounce. We will retrace. We're not. I would be amazed if we dropped and just V-shape recovered the whole move. So the patience is key. Let us find support. Let somebody else be the demand. Do you know what I mean? Let somebody else provide liquidity, right? Don't you do it yourself. It's not when you're trying to not when it's knife catching. Let somebody else do that with all the big capital. Let them do the hard work. Let them hold price up. Let them bounce price, and we'll get a retracement. So when you see support found off of this level, then we start looking for entries. So I will be anyway. But yeah, that's about it really. That is obviously a big level. It would be also coming into this low again. So I'd expect some big resistance coming up to 3, 3, 4, 5 zone. So, but I'll have a look at. I don't think I've ever looked at this coin. I should have put my glasses on. I have looked at this coin. Okay. Let's delete it all. Ah, yes, of course. I remember now. I was talking somebody through this because of the way it played these pivots. Spawn, test R1, back test, tag pivot, clear pivot, pump, R3, slight front run, back test R2, lower high, dump, find support, S1. So yeah, I'll knock up. Let's have a look at it then. Let's hide everything. And let's see what levels. Like I said, I've literally never traded this coin. In fact, yeah, okay, yeah. I think there's enough. There should be enough history on this. I might just use the Binance chart actually. Let me just compare. Yeah, I'll use this. This looks nicer. Right, let's find some key levels, shall we? back at $2. I'll load up there. Wow. It's like, oh, that's okay. I don't like that monthly. I like that. I don't like Q. This weekly is nice. Support, resistance. Like that is a big level. We do have that. Yeah, that could give us like intermediate support. Straight away, I like that level. Let's move like one. Then we go. Then we come back. Okay. I quite like this coin. Apart from that nasty scamwick. I hope nobody got wrecked on that. Right, let's add on. Oh wow. Tell me this isn't real. Who suggested this? Mott, you're a legend, mate. I wouldn't have probably looked at this otherwise. There's your clear resistance. Back up at all-time high. I'm not. Yeah, I'm actually. That is such nice confluence. Give me something else in there, please. Oh wow, like okay. No financial advice, of course, but wow, that's yeah, I like that. Like that is a big level to hold. If we lose that, there isn't much below, is there? Until we get down to it. I know there's like S2, but I wouldn't expect a pivot on its own to give support. It is an SR level in a way, but yeah, if this gives way, then it's not looking good. I want to see what the volume forever is. Okay, that's nasty. Yeah. Okay, since the uptrend, since this push. Just the uptrend. I'll have a look at sand, mate. I actually posted some TA on the Discord about sand because that coin loves order blocks. How are you anyway, cowboy? I hope you're good, mate. Like that. Like this uptrend. Like we've got the point of control. If we had a 4-hour order block there, you can see the respect they get. Like downtrend, where do we stop? 3-hour order block. Simple as that. Oh well, there you go. This is just ridiculous. Like, why didn't I see this coin before? You've got a 3-hour order block and a monthly S1. That is, yeah, that is some nice. That would have been some nice confluence for a sculpt down there. But that doesn't help us now. That does. I'm not so keen on these 2 hours, but we have to find confluence where we can, and if we can't, we forget about it. Let's go back onto this. So thank you, mate. I'm trying. Yeah, so there's 2 levels of interest for me on this. We've got the 2-hour order block on weekly down at like $9. It's also the point of control zone. Let me just get rid of that point. Put us back on daily. So yeah, 2-hour order block, point of control on weekly. Very little pivot support there, but we get the new monthlies soon in 2 days, so hopefully we might get like an S1 there. Lose that, and this is like final, like resistance, 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 support, support, support. It really has to hold us up. That would be, and this of course has the 6-month S1 bang in the middle of it. So yeah, they're the only 2 zones really that I'd even. And then as for short zones, it's a long way up, isn't it? Oh, that's some serious distance. Jesus, we left nothing. Okay. Well, this would be a retest of the 6-month pivot. I don't like it. It's got a massive wick. It's been front run already. See, I hate. See, that's the problem with this is the indicator will say that that order block is still a valid order block, but I don't like the way, like, yeah, we've entered that zone already and had quite a decent like rejection off of it. Like that's a 15% rejection, so I don't like that. I'd like to see a 1 hour untapped there, but I will have a look at Gala for you. But yeah, they're the only 2 zones to the downside. I don't like we haven't really left much above us. Like it feels as if we come down very quick on this, like super quick. But that's massive resistance. Obviously it's all-time high, but there is like technical reasons to reject there again. But same with most assets, you'd expect it once it's got that high, maybe we go higher and take the high. But yeah, they're the 2 zones. Mott, they're the ones I'd like. This one, that's like that really has to hold. Obviously we can go lower on it, we can go way lower, but I think if we lose this, the next logical place would be, but that's a massive drop. Yeah, I don't know, I won't be interested after this point. But I hope that helps, mate. I'll cover it again once we get the new monthly pivots. I plan on doing another stream. I'll go through a load of alts and we'll like have another look at it with the new pivots in place, and yeah, take it from there. Next one was Atom. Let's do Atom. Atom, come on. Did I put it on here? Yes, I did actually do Atom in the video the other day, but I will kind of cover it again because I don't think much has changed with it, if I'm being honest, mate. We're in the exact same place. We've got a 2-hour order block below us. Not financial advice. 2-hour order block. I don't really like it, if I'm being honest. We could take the lows and get a bounce off it, yeah, but I'd much rather come back down towards these levels. Right. The weekly zone. That's really the only area that I'm interested in at them. Obviously I'm interested if we come much lower, but then we're coming back down into like bargain prices. Get rid of that fixed range. That box, yeah, that's the target box. What our order block? We've got a 3-hour order block, a weekly. There's just not a lot, or is there? There might have been some on the monthly. The reason why. Yeah, I just don't. That would be the only zone, and that would be for a sculpt. But again, that would mean losing the low. Obviously, the weekly $22. That's why I've got a big box there. I like that as well. A lot will depend on where the monthly pivot spawn, mate. To be honest, because they have a massive effect on my TA in general. These were, look at that R2 rejection was so nice. I think it was on the monthly, it might have been the R5, yeah. Could not break that R5. But yeah, we've got some resistance above us. Let me drop down onto a lower time frame. Right, we've got 3-hour order blocks, 4-hour order blocks. You can see the back test on that. What pivot is that? Yeah, that monthly pivot. Yeah, support, resistance. I'd be interested to see where the next monthly ones spawn, because I imagine with this price action they are going to spawn above us. So maybe at the start of the month what I will do is I'll be looking obviously where the monthly. I like the fact that at the minute this level interested me because we've got a monthly S1 inside the order block, and it was also like the 786 fib from this low to this high. So we've got 786 inside a 2-hour order block with a monthly S1 there. I would hope for a bounce, but if that doesn't bounce, then I won't be trading it myself. I'll be looking. I have other assets I'm interested in. I'm not really that interested in that. I'd like got quite a bit lower, but I'd have to wait and see where the new monthlies are. Watch the initial price action at the start of the month. Watch the relationship between the atom and the monthly pivot, and from there I'll be able to make like a more informed decision. But there's so many OBs. Like, look at this 1-hour order block on the retest. %. Let's be tight and take it from the very top. Then you're getting 7% on that. Thank you, Jordan, mate. But yeah, like they're the levels. Like you can see now that we're on a lower time frame. Like if we were to come down here in the next couple of days, I'd monitor and I might be interested in a sculpt. But again, like it's massively dependent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's like dying and we're dropping and we're losing our current low and we're heading down towards say 29k, the July low, then for me I'm not interested in these levels. If we do an SFP on say the July low and we see some and we can reclaim that level and we see some buying interest, then yeah, maybe. But again, a lot will be dependent on Bitcoin. I would really like it down at around $22 again. I'd like it back at 10, but that's just Bitcoin would need to go. Yeah, Bitcoin would need to be in a lot of trouble, which I don't see. 20k is not a lot of trouble, is it? So, but yeah, that's like that's the first level. And then obviously, let me just check that there wasn't anything on. Yeah, we blasted through that. Yeah. Yeah, I'd stick by what I said. Them order blocks below, they really have to do their job. Like, we've got the 3-month S1, of course. Let me just go back on here. So, like I say, it's not financial advice, but that would have to be any trade taken here. Like, your invalidation would have to be S1. That's big though. But then obviously the risk to reward, is it worth it? Everybody has to work that out for themselves. Me personally, I don't like. Even if we got, like, if we bounced on S1, and even if we got a retest, your entry's going to be in here. Like I tell people all the time, whenever you're thinking about a trade, the first thing you should always do is use the trade tool. Like, a trade may sound absolutely amazing in your head, but until you see it worked out and you can see, like, come in here, if your account is $1,000 and you want to risk 1% with an entry price of 25.96, then there you go. Is that right? Yeah, of course it is. You're risking $10. No, don't do that. But no, like, if we can find support around S1, then the logical reaction would be to retest the pivot. But again, like I say, Tuesday is the day. When we get the new monthly pivots, we'll know where we'll have a much better idea of what support and resistance. Because if we can get like an S2 sat inside this order block on the weekly, it'll be a front run of the previous lows. Did we take that high? Oh wow, that's a bit tight, isn't it? But yeah, that's really the only thing that I'd be interested in. $25 zone or $22. Lose that and I'd have to completely reassess. But it doesn't look like the strongest, does it? In all honesty, we're dragging back. But yeah, I will go over it again. I'll like, I think I'll do Tuesday. We get the new pivots Tuesday, so I'll do a live stream or a video Tuesday. I'll go over every single alt, like I'll go over Bitcoin's new monthly pivot, and yeah, we can see. I'm gonna do one last one, maybe two. I'll do sand next. Sand I do actually like. There was something about this coin. What was it? Oh, this is it. Right. So yeah. So since it went from being a piece of crap to an actual coin that was worth something. So if we take the volume from the impulse, from the start of the impulse, we bounced on the point of control. I didn't actually see this till afterwards, but look at that. We tapped the 1 hour order block. with point of control S1 daily. I know it's quite a big zone, but we also had the 786. That would have been an easy position to ladder into. That's a really nice rally off that order block, because I don't think there's that many. Yeah, this is Binance. Okay. Hide you. Like, it hasn't left much on that. Like, we're coming back into the previous all-time high at 119. That's not really good, is it? It didn't really. So yeah, this is what I wanted to point out on sand. Where are the come off these? Bounced on the monthly S5 as well. After, it's just the same story with them all. As you can see, the pivots, as soon as we lose it, that's it. Find support on S1, lose it. Find support on S2, rally. Find support on S1, lose it. Find support on S2, lose it. Find temporary support on S3. Find absolutely nothing on 4, all the way to 5. And as you can see, we're now trying to rally back up, but we left no 4 hours below. We've got some 3 hours. Okay. This one left to a break in market structure. Yeah, but I like. Obviously, these pivots are now irrelevant. I'll get rid of these because these are basically gone, aren't they? So we will. Yeah. They're still valid. So we could. Again, this is massively dependent on Bitcoin. Not the whole. But if Bitcoin can drop to like 33.6, put in a high low, find a bit of support. We've got some nice. That would literally correspond with this coming down to these zones. Yeah, I like them. That's our low. 66% GP. Okay, right, now we go. It's a bit of an annoying day really, because so we've got a 5-day S1 in it, rejected off the front run 5-day S3. I want the weeklies, but they spawn tonight. Right, we get the new weeklies tonight. What's the volume? If we were to come back down there, what volume did we have down there really from below the pivot? So okay, I like that. Include all the volume below the pivot. This little fake July bottom to test the weekly. If we come down here, this is a level of interest for me. This is, I wouldn't say it was like. I would need to see Bitcoin finding support around 33.6 to 34k, while Sandy's coming down, testing this point of control, the order block and the CC, and then hopefully if we could get, say, a new weekly pivot. 20, oh, Caramel, 24-hour stream. That would be. I tell you what, I will do for the new yearly pivot next year. I'll do a 24-hour stream to celebrate. But yeah, I would like. This would be a nice zone to retest. Put in another higher low. Obviously, Bitcoin would need to be finding support around 33.6, 34k zone, but that's a nice one. 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay. Again, like the same with all of the coins, really. That tonight's a big night. Obviously, we get the new weekly pivots tonight. Tuesday, sorry, is a massive day. we get the new 5-day pivots, and we get the new monthly pivot. So, but yeah, like on an intraday scalping, I'd be well interested down here. Yeah, Jeff, I'd have to be a little bit wobbly, let's say, to do a 24-hour stream. But yeah, back to sand. I think if we can get, say, a weekly pivot in here, it's hard to. I can't really guess where the pivot's going to spawn, because the pivots are based off of close price. So we need to see where we close the week out. If we can get an weekly S1 or a weekly pivot point down here, then that would be a zone of interest for me. Again, like I say, Bitcoin would need to be finding support at the time. If Bitcoin's just slicing through levels, then yeah, I'd approach this with caution, to say the least, because there's not much really below it. Like, yeah, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I do like that as for maybe a sculpt level. And then, yes, bro. Hi. Look how late you are. There's just no excuses. Right. I'm gonna do Gala. Yep, that is next. Let's have a scan through this. We'll use the Binance chart again. Oh wow. They've all of these coins, they all literally just look the same. Like, we've had the low, higher low. We have this weird, we have our impulse. Oh, it's not really impulsive, is it? We have our ABC, and then this is a mess. But we'll jump on. Let me hide these PPs. Like, what is that? Oh, let me just. What? Okay, I'm a bit confused. I don't remember actually drawing that. Move, please. Damn, this coin is down. Like, I don't even know what to say about this coin. See you back at 9 cents. Right, let's keep that as it's slightly higher. But wow, this tells the story itself. Like, look at it. No, I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him this time. This, damn man, this looks brutal. Like, I don't even know like what I can say that's positive really. I've got one thing to say that is actually positive about this coin, and that we're 70%, 76% cheaper than the mugs that bought up here. So that's positive, I suppose, eh? That's well worth. That's what I like with coins. We've got a lot of room to the upside, but this is massive now. Like straight away, I want the volume of this. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that is. Well, them two zones. That should be. Don't like that I don't see much hope for this coin. I don't. Right, that's pretty. It's pretty bleak, isn't it, when you look at that? But I suppose the positive is, if Bitcoin drops again, we might actually get down to the point of control of this, of like the consolidation range. That would be nice. Like, I think buying down here is a good buy, maybe. If you, of course, you'd have to be willing to risk it going to zero, but we take that risk every day. So let's have a look if there is. Like, I'd like some OBs down here. Really, there might 3, 2. Oh wow. I don't like this. That's not a lot, is it, really? Like, that's pretty bad, if I'm being honest, people. Well, it's not great. I know that much. Even without the order blocks, I do still like that point of control, because yeah, see, that's we do. I'm not sure. See, my issue with this one is purely the fact that we've traded back through the wick. The indicator only marks the bodies and the lower wick for the bullish order block, so it's worth being aware of, I suppose, but in my opinion I wouldn't like to trade based off of this order block, because I'd expect if we bounce there it won't be due to this, it will be due to the monthly, but there's not a lot of I don't even really know what to say about it. It's destroyed, isn't it? 3 hour. We've got. Okay. I prefer this one, if I'm being honest. Like, if I had to choose an order block to trade off of, but this indicator doesn't mark it, but I don't know, man. Like, what? Let me see. I like this zone. Back into the old highs, isn't it? Where's that fixed range? Is that the value area high? Yeah, see, I like that. Like, let me just, although it's not marked by the indicator, there's 2 candles which catch my attention. That would be the body of this coming back into that zone, because you can see the candle after it was massively impulsive, and this little beauty which, yeah, they both have confluence. You've got value area high, daily, point of control. It's just a case of which one holds. I'll mark the daily ODs. I genuinely didn't realise like how bad these had been annihilated. This is serious. Oh, that's a nice. I like that zone. Oh, they're marked already, aren't they? Yeah. Right. Right, let's now whack on the final piece. We'll start with the yearly. Bounced off. Again, another example. As soon as we lose the yearly pivot, we spend 2 days banging against it as resistance before we come down to S1. They're not much use right now because that S2 is like what about the 6 months? Oh, yeah, the 6 months are going to be the same as the yearly, aren't they, because of the lack of history on the coin. 1 month. So, okay. We've actually got a naked monthly pivot because there's no way we're getting back there. Monthly, and it's at 4789. Okay, let me just label that. No. Yeah, so you'd expect some resistance coming back up there. I like that order block and monthly though, because you could sweep that high into the order block, take any liquidity above there into the monthly. But obviously we're going to get new monthly pivots, so again I'd be interested to see what support we get down at these levels, because if we do drop, we've got the 1 hour order block. Like, you would expect like us to, if we are going to drop further, that this value area high really has to give some kind of support. There's a lot of confluence there. It would be the high of the previous like range before this massive impulsive breakout, so you'd like to see it find support there. I'm assuming it's a bit like SHIB, because SHIB had like consolidation, pump, come back down, and it'll be a similar story with that. Be important to hold the highs of the range. If we don't, then definitely the monthly, daily order block zone, right, point of control, around about 9.5–10 cents. But that's not to say, not financial advice, and not saying that we're definitely going there. Yeah, Yoda. YOLO. Nah. That's literally like the only zone I'm interested. Sculpt maybe here, value area higher this range, like I say, plenty, but yeah, that's what was that? SHIB. I hope it goes to 0. That was the level I was looking at. Right, final support. We actually bounced midline, 4 hour order block. It was really like last chance. Lose that and we're probably coming down to the weekly. But yeah, that's broken, back tested. That's obviously be easier if I just like, this chart is horrible. Like, it's one of the worst. Tragic coin. I wouldn't be sad if it went to 0. Only because I sold. I got out way before. I didn't carry it right up here, but I held it up to like 6,000. It was just above this high. I was happy to get out then because because it's just not a good coin. It was obvious the hype would die, and it did. What was the volume down there anyway? Don't really want to include that impulsive candle, but not really going to make much difference, is it? Yeah, see, this is another one. If it happens, like if we lose the order block that was here, you could quite easily see us coming down to this weekly order block, the weekly level, point of control of this range. You're looking at 710. Wow, yeah, easily. Like, I don't see any. Like, what support is there? Like, we did put in, like, we had this. Again, shows you the power of it. 4-hour order blocks, 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and off them we're getting, even if you tighten take the measurement from the top, 28% bounce into, well, that really does look like consolidation before it's going to dump down to my weekly. We've got a 4-hour order block up here, which big resistance, potential scalp short positions. Like that. 4 hours. Is there anything else? Oh, look at that. And again, another example of these 4-hour order blocks. Yeah, leave one here, come down, bounce off of this one, pump into this one, reject. Come up, leave another order block, guess what? Reject. Another order block, reject. Order block, small reject. And again, okay, we blasted through this, but nothing's 100% in this game, and you can see they do give decent bounces. That's violated now. I don't really see. Okay, now we are scraping the barrel. Like a 3-hour OB into this. Right. Oh, okay. We've also got. Not a massive fan of this one, but this would be a similar situation to if the reason why, like, people may mark out just as this indicator marks out, but me personally, I've seen too many times you'll mark the OB as the indicator shows, not the whole OB itself. I like that it's to include the whole candle, because sometimes you'll see we'll wick down, catch the top wick, rally, and then when we actually come down to retest what the indicator says is still the order block, we just rip straight through it. So I'd rather catch the front run and get in, but that's 2-hour resistance rejected. Yeah, so we've got a 1-hour order block in a 3-hour order block. So if we were to, I know this isn't a perfect, like, I don't trade triangles, but like, more just to show, like, it's just a consolidation pattern. If we do lose this, again, how far down is that? Would that be about? Yeah, so if we were to lose that as Bitcoin was finding support at 33.6, then maybe. But overall, I'm looking for, there's only two levels that I'm really interested in. What pivots are they? They're the monthly. They're invalid in 2 days, so 3 months. So there we go. Switch back to the daily to make it easier. Why is that extended? Because I didn't unextend it. But yeah, that is the first level of defense, the last level of defense, before we're back into the old, well, the range from when it was basically irrelevant. So if we lose that, it would also align with the tops of these, and this the initial low we put in, the bounce zone. So that's the first. Lose that, and we're coming. And I think, yeah, we're coming back to this weekly and point of control. I don't know what are the high alternative 6-month pivot. Where are you? Yeah, so that's a slight invalidation. What else? 3 months. There we go. Extra confluence. So this is the only level really, besides this weekly and point of control. No financial advice, of course, but like, this is risky. I don't like it. The RR is massive, but the stop loss is massive. But then again, still got a 10.23 RR. I think that, as you can see, it aligns with our first lows there, which was the base of this range, which is also the high of this range, which aligns with the S1, the order block. So that for me is the only place I'm interested in, assuming we break down. But yeah, we've still got these. This is another one that the 3-month pivot is still naked, so you could see like us come down, tap, and then start our quest up, and then from there, who knows what will happen. Obviously I'd be looking to take profit all the way up at each resistance. Like, we're going to get resistance because this is a little mini, this is a range, so yeah, resistance up here. But obviously, like I say, the monthly pivots when they spawn on Tuesday, they will be a massive factor as well. But if we do lose this, that's like it. Like, this has to be it. Anything below that, and it's basically free again. So unless we were to sweep the whole range low, but wow, like, really, that would be the amount of liquidity that would be down there would be ridiculous. It would be destruction. But yeah, that's the only plan I really see for SHIB. Either this one, preferably this one though. I'd like it to keep dumping, but that 4-hour order block did its job, so would also be testing this order block, would be retesting the old order block high. So obviously looking to any long odd TP up here, definitely. I'd be taking it as a swing trade, of course. But yeah, that is about it. I'm gonna have to go. So thank you to everybody. Seriously, it means a lot, man. I've been absolutely terrified, but it's been worth it. I hope you've learned something, and I will, if you get your suggestions in, I will do more videos obviously this week. I plan on doing 2 altcoin videos this week, purely obviously we get the new monthly pivot, so we get some new plans. No, thank you, Jeff, mate. Seriously, it means a lot, man. I'm trying my best. I will get better. I'm currently building. Thank you, guys. I'm currently I'm literally in my dining room at the minute, so I'm turning my office into a studio so I can get a camera for you guys so you can see my ugly face. And yeah, we'll be able to have some crazy live streams, plenty of videos for you all. And like I said, I am going to do a video on like how I trade the pivots, order blocks, every part of my trading. I'm going to break down in videos for all of you, and then yeah, let's make some money. No financial advice, of course. Thank you for tuning in. That's me signing out. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys, and have a good week. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe.